Alright, good morning boys and girls, mostly 98.3% boys though. I'm going to be talking about I got 6 different side hustle ideas for DJs and producers because I did a call with someone that followed my YouTube yesterday, messaged me on Instagram, ended up hopping on a Zoom call and I was talking about how to increase his income because obviously pretty much all of you guys want to be doing this full time, but it's really hard to do that with just DJing alone, especially at the start. You've got to create multiple income streams. So the first one, I did this remarkably well. I've done it like 4 fucking times now. You can do a DJ or produce a school. So you don't necessarily need to start a school. You could just be an instructor and just do one-on-one lessons. So I used to run this DJ school called The Institute. It was a DJ school where you'd learn to DJ clubs in an actual club during the day when they weren't being used. Now this was a great idea for a couple of reasons. Firstly, I started it in the middle of COVID, well actually just before COVID, and operated all throughout COVID. And it gave a bunch of my mates income when all the clubs here in Perth, Western Australia had shut down. That was the first reason it was good. Second reason it was good was all of the venues were obviously shut here where we were anyway. And so obviously I paid a venue hire fee to the nightclubs and it kind of helped them during a tough period as well. I might do an entire video on how I started that actually, because I did the Institute and then when COVID kind of subsided, my digital agency was taking off, so I ended up just closing it even though it was like a 6-figure business and 40% profit margin. It was a really lucrative business. I was busy with the agency, which kind of had more scalability. We had like 5 locations in 3 different cities across Australia as well. It kind of became a whole fucking big thing, and then I ended up just closing that, and then my good friend Quincy Don Darko, I've done an interview with him on this YouTube channel. He started working at a music school and then asked if I can help him with the marketing, and I was like, bro, I can literally just clone the Institute for you. And then his school was really successful. I was doing the ads for it. When I started the Institute, actually, I got my first student, I think like 48 or 72 hours after I got the idea, so it was really, really quick. And then it was MRE Academy, and then Jackson and I are partners in Industry Set now, so I kind of just fucking really own the DJ and producer and instructor school space. So that's the first one. The second one is learn how to do, I should really say meta ads because it's Facebook and Instagram, for clubs and events. Now this will make you valuable to club promoters in a couple of different ways. Firstly, you're not just a DJ or someone that can actually help them bring more people to the club with a higher leverage activity like paid advertising. Obviously a lot of promoters, and I talk about it on this channel, do organic channels for club promotion and messaging people and outbound content, stuff like that. But paid advertising is really high leverage because I can go to a club promoter and go, look, my average return on ad spend is 11x, so on average every dollar you give me to spend on ads for you, I'm probably going to give you $11 back, and it's measurable, right? And so that makes you remarkably valuable in the industry in your city or even in other cities as well. So learn how. I really need to do a video on it, but I don't want to do a generic video on it and just really. And the other thing as well is it changes all the time. But if that's something you guys are interested in learning, chuck a comment below and I'll start thinking about how I want to kind of put that together. But a lot of my income when I was DJing, especially at the tail end, was from doing the ads for like 1/3 of Perth's fucking nightlife. The third thing you can do, content creation agency. Now, if you're a DJ that's really good at social media, I'm gonna use Quincy as an example here. Don Darko got really, really good at creating viral TikToks. He just knew the algorithm inside and out, could look at a piece of content and know how to remix it so that it will just do remarkably better, so that, much like the paid advertising thing, you know, a lot of promoters, they're either really time poor or skill poor. And so if you can come in to fill one of the gaps in either their time or their skills to actually create viral content, help build the brand behind their event or behind their venue, that's remarkably valuable because it translates into more heads through the door in dollars and cents. It's a little bit less hard, it's a little bit more hard to measure than someone doing Facebook ads because there's like, I got one open in front of me right here. There's literally a table of data saying this many people saw it, this many people bought tickets. But a content creation agency is remarkably, or maybe not agency, but freelancer. Agency implies that there's you and a team that you're managing. Content creation agency will be a good one. Fourth one, pretty closely connected to the first one, is the social media management agency. I'm not going to speak too much on that, but you can just be managing the social media for venues and nightclubs and promoters and things like that. The fifth one is photography/videography. The reason this is a fantastic idea is because, let's say you're DJing an event. Well, actually, let's give two instances. Let's say you're DJing an event. You DJ from 10 to, or maybe 9 till 10, and then rather than having to travel 30 minutes to another venue and then wait around half an hour to play, you can just immediately start doing photos or videos at that same venue or club afterwards, and then maximize the billable hours that you have across the night, right? So that's a fantastic one as well. The second instance of that is, let's say you're the club promoter. Photographers, at least in Perth, Western Australia anyway, get paid, I think $100, maybe $150 an hour. Videographers, maybe $200 to $250 an hour. If you can just do that yourself, especially when you're a small event, it's a great way to save money there as well. And then if you're doing the photos and videos at your event, you can then go and do it at your friends' events or other venues' events on non-competing nights. The sixth one, no one thinks about this one. You can be a sales rep for info products like courses and coaching programs and things like that. Now, I'm going to try and not make this a plug for Industry Set, because Industry Set we're hiring sales reps, but the reason being a sales rep for info products, regardless of what kind of industry they're in, is typically they're commission-only roles where you get like 15 to 20% of a probably $3,000 or $4,000 deal, and then you can set your own hours. So the problem that most DJs and producers have is they've got to work nighttime, and then they've either got like a part-time job in the day and they've got to get up early, or they don't have enough time to do all these things. So it's a very casual job where you can just do a couple calls during the week and probably make a couple of $100, right? Typically what happens with these commission-only roles is people will set their own hours in their calendar. Like I was just messaging my sales reps that are starting on Monday and going, look, what hours can you guys do? And they're like 10 a.m. till 4 p.m. Some are, different hours. You just set that in your calendar, link it up so that no one books sales calls over, your lunch and dinner and your gym and what other study or work and jobs that you have. And it's just an easy way. You just hop on a Zoom call for 30 to 45 minutes with someone that's requested their own sales call with you, run through a pretty simple non-salesy sales script, and then probably land, close one out of every three for a couple $100 commission. If there's any other side hustles that you guys have been or sources of income streams that you guys have been using as a DJ or producer or a club promoter, chuck them in the comments. I'm really curious to see what other people are doing, because the main obstacle that I had, and I'm assuming, and I've heard a lot of you struggle with as well, is trying to go full-time into music or club promotions or DJing and the whole nightlife industry in general is very, very difficult, because there's not a whole lot of income in one skill, right? If you're just a local DJ, your income's relatively limited, specifically because you've just got a couple hours each night that you can DJ, right? So there's all this PM time that you're making money, but there's all this AM time that you're just awake and nothing else is going on. You might as well utilize all the waking hours you have and turn them into instead of just waking hours, billable hours, right? Let me know what you guys think. Let me know what you guys are doing in the comments, and I'll see you in the next video.